So today I have my best friend with me. I'm going to be posting some other videos, so you guys might see her in those too. But today we wanted to show you how to make our zucchini soup. I say our because this is my favorite soup like ever. And it's actually her mom's recipe. I'll show you guys the ingredients that we're going to start with. It's a pretty simple recipe. All you need are zucchinis, of course, onion, some bouillon, which I just have, they use a German bouillon, I think.
Yeah,
but I live in Southern California, so I have a Mexican bouillon. And then some butter, salt and pepper, and that's actually it. It's so simple and it's super easy to make. That's part of the reason why I love this recipe so much. And so I'm actually going to be making it in bulk today, and then saving it so that and freezing it so that I can thaw it out when I want to take it to school. Also, what you would need to make this, I have an immersion blender, which is very handy, and I actually got this, my mom gave it to me for Christmas, I think, or my birthday, and she just picked it up at TJ Maxx. You don't have to buy it full price, and they're the same. Like, this is, I think, one from 2004, but they work the exact same way. But if you don't have one, and her mom actually doesn't have one, and she just uses the blender, you just put the soup into the blender and blend it on up, because it's a smooth soup. It's not a chunky one. So anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. We're just wiping down the zucchinis right now. You can wash them, and you can, it's actually probably more thorough if you soak them in vinegar water. For, like, if you come home from the store and you have a lot of produce and you just go ahead and soak it in vinegar water, then it's clean for when you want to use it throughout the week, instead of having to wash it every time you pull it out. But we're just going to wipe these down with a damp paper towel because that's what we're going to do today. I'm basically like tripling this recipe so that I can have a lot and save it. So I'm going to be using a larger pot like this, but if you're just doing this recipe for like dinner one night for like a family of 4 or 6, then I would recommend just doing a normal size soup pot. So when you have the zucchini, you're going to want to, you're going to be blending it anyway. You do not have to be precise at all if you're cutting. Do try to cut it to similar sizes so it does cook evenly, but when you cut it, make sure you just cut off the ends. Put those to the side of your trash, and then the size that I like to cut at is probably about like that, maybe like ½ an inch thick. So you just go down, you can be really fast at it. It does not have to be perfect, and this is a perfectionist saying that, so it really doesn't. And then you just do this over and over again. You flick it all over the board. So the first thing I like to do is just make a slice down. This is not proper knife handling skills. Just slice it like this so that you can cut through the skin, and then you just peel the skin off. So now you have a bare onion. I cut off this ugly part if it has it. I just cut that off. So then you just slice it this way so it cuts through where the stem is, so that you have 2 halves that are still held together. Then you're going to take one of the halves, put it flat side down, slice through it like this, and I need to sharpen my knife. If you have a sharp knife, this process goes a lot easier. So then you have it like this with the slice in the middle, and then you're going to take your knife and run it through this way. My knife felt like it was sharp yesterday. So now you have slices that go across, and then you're going to take the knife and do your slices in this direction now. So now when you cut through, it'll come out diced, and you can vary the widths that you make these slices at to make finer dices or thicker dices. And then I get to the end and I just cut it like this. And then you can run your knife through if you want it a little bit more chopped, or to separate the onion a little bit more.
If you wear glasses, I've noticed that when you cut onions with glasses on, it's like even worse because I don't know. It like gets trapped underneath. But if you're wearing contacts, I've like never had a problem with cutting onions. I don't know why. So like, there's a tip.
Yeah. My onions are not even remotely close to the same size as each other. So if you do the method that I use, try to make sure your chops are, or your slices are sort of evenly spaced, because I wasn't paying attention. And it doesn't really matter for this, but in the future, if you have a dish where it matters, then just know that. I am personally using about 18 zucchinis. I think I counted 18 at the store. But this is, like I said, I'm doing a huge amount right now. It is going to boil down, so the amount that you see in the pot right now is going to probably be about half that. But if you're doing this for like dinner one night for just your family, I would probably maybe half it, even probably maybe around 9 or 10 zucchinis would do it. You have to remember, this is zucchini soup, so it may seem like a lot of zucchinis, but that's the main ingredient. It's just zucchinis and onions. So you will have to use a lot of zucchinis. So for my 18 zucchinis, I'm using 2 large onions. So if you were to just do half of this, so like 9 or 10 zucchinis, then just use 1 large onion. Alright, so we kind of messed up. You can see our butter is sitting on top right here. It's supposed to go on the bottom. I'm gonna, with a spoon, I'm gonna try to get it to go on the bottom, because you're gonna want your vegetables to brown. You're gonna have to stir this quite often so that the butter really covers it and they all get a chance to brown on the bottom of the pan. But just so you know, if you see the butter on top, it's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be on the bottom. And then we're going to add the bouillon into it. And so you want to add quite a bit of bouillon, because you really want to make sure it has a lot of flavor to it. So you can come see what it looks like. This is without adding any water at all. So you can see how much liquid the vegetables themselves actually produce. So I've already added like half of a bouillon in there, and I think we'll probably add two more little cubes of bouillon, and you can just plop it in there. You can break it up if you want, but it should dissolve. You're gonna leave it in there for...
I'll break mine.
Okay. Gretchen's gonna break hers. So this has been cooking for about 35 to 40 minutes right now. It doesn't really brown. It kind of boils in its own liquid. So if you're not getting a browning on it, don't worry. It's still doing good. I'm going to blend this now. I have my immersion blender, and like I said at the beginning, I would highly, if you love soup and making soup, I would highly recommend getting one of these, because it makes the process a lot easier. But if you do it with the blender, it's not too difficult. So I'm going to go ahead and stick it in. I start it on low. So I blend it on low for a little bit, and then I slowly increase the speed of it.
And my mom always, I think, puts Tabasco in it. So
oh, really?
it's not like in the soup when she's making it, but you know, on the table when you're eating it. And I think she uses the green Tabasco, so it's not quite as spicy.
So we just ate the soup, and
it was good. And I actually never really, well, first of all, I've never made the soup before, so even though it's my mom's recipe, she's made it like multiple times, but I had never made it before.
I love it.
Because I always said I didn't like the soup whenever my mom would make it, and I wouldn't eat it, and Aaron always would. And I think it was just because I didn't think I liked zucchinis, and it was like, you know, it's zucchini soup, and we had 18 zucchinis in it this time, so obviously there's a lot of zucchini in it. But I know. But it actually was really good. So even if you don't like zucchinis, I'd recommend trying it. It was really good.
We got a thumbs up. We had 4 people try it. I got a thumbs up from all of them, and it's super simple too. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I should have some other cooking videos up, maybe with Gretchen again, and maybe with someone else too. I don't know if Isaiah wants to do one, or Ryan. Yeah, I have like an audience right now. Anyway, so I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. All right, bye.
Bye.
So for my 18
Sorry.
Hey, go ahead, do it again, because that was really loud.